The time was 1 in the morning. I was about to go to sleep when I stumbled upon a video called Beru versus Meruem, who would win. So I clicked the video. And for 4 minutes and 24 seconds, I experienced one of the worst takes I've ever heard. Fortunately for you though, these ass takes are the reason I made this video. So here's the plan. Part 1, we're gonna scale both post-rose Meruem and pre-shadow Beru. Because yes, that's what the guy in the video said. Stupid, right? Yeah, no, just keep watching. Part 2, we're gonna obliterate the worst arguments from that video. And as you'll see as this video goes along, they get pretty fucking outlandish, bro. And lastly, part 3, we're going to show you a table of all of the results from the power scaling so you can see who would actually win. And I ain't gonna lie, if you actually think that Beru clears by the end of this video, you might want to get checked for a learning disability. Let's get into it. Alright, let's set the record straight. This guy, Beru, was a walking raid boss. Fast enough to blitz entire squads, strong enough to one-shot A-rank hunters, durable enough to shrug off their attacks, and with abilities so powerful, he made fights one-sided before they even started. And up to this day, I thought people like to sleep on this motherfucker Beru, but according to that video, apparently the fuck not! But first things first, let's talk about this motherfucker's speed. Beru's base combat speed breaks down to around Mach 300, and his travel speed to around Mach 60. And shit, his reaction time is damn near instantaneous. I mean, I saw this motherfucker tearing through the strongest hunters in the fucking country, bro. And this motherfucker done relocated Chai Haten into a different zip code in less than a fucking second. To put this into perspective, I came to the conclusion that the average S rank has a reaction time of around Mach 40. This is because Sung Jin Woo, who at the time of recording is around 7 to 10 times better than the average S rank. He dodged lightning, bro, in his fight versus Baron. And this alone takes a reaction time of around Mach 400 because lightning moves like the third of the speed of light. And in order to come up with the number I provided earlier, I divided it by 10. These motherfuckers couldn't even see him move. I mean, just look at this fucking blitz. And just look at this scene that just came out today. I mean, these motherfuckers are going crazy. All right, so we just covered Beru's speed, but speed doesn't mean shit if you can't hit hard. And luckily for Beru, that was never a problem because he wasn't just strong, he was out here fucking folding motherfuckers. I mean, look at, damn, fuck, oh shit. Oh my God. All right, let's rank this motherfucker's strength. So Beru's raw striking strength is city block level and his destructive capacity is multi-city block level. I feel like we can all agree that Beru's raw striking strength is slightly superior to Igris's, at least at this time in the story. And his destructive capacity is multi-city due to him easily flattening A ranks and being able to defeat S ranks. Now I know that Beru turned this quote-unquote fight between those S ranks into a massacre worthy of 11 like TV audio.
Stop fucking running from me!
But if you take a look at the S ranks that he was fighting, it's pretty clear how he was able to actually defeat these motherfuckers, bro. And yes, his strength had a part in it, hence my calculation, but his speed was the main factor behind it. I mean, the best argument you can make for this motherfucker being higher than multi-city block level is how he blitzed the fuck out of Goto Ryuji and one-tapping that motherfucker. But that doesn't even matter because this motherfucker Ryuji is high S rank and only that. I mean, this motherfucker isn't even near national level, so why the fuck are we talking about him? That motherfucker's never beating his blitz. Hey, this is an editor's note. But was anybody else just pissed at that motherfucker's existence? Like, this guy acted like he was fucking God, bro. And this guy got one-tapped. Are we serious? All right, so we covered that he has immense speed and strength, but in order for any of that to be useful, your ass gotta know how to use it. So now let's move on to the next category. Intelligence. So with my calculations, I got Beru at a general IQ of above average to high, his battle IQ at extremely high, and his strategic intelligence at high. Pre-Shadow Beru was highly capable of analyzing and understanding complex combat strategies seemingly effortlessly, adapting to said strategies along with enemy fighting styles mid-battle and counters them. I'll use the example of him 1v6ing those S-rank hunters, and yes, I know it's like the only example I've been using, but hey, it is a damn good one. I have an inkling that the order in which he attacked these hunters was strategic because he attacked the fastest close-range person first, which, I mean, I don't think I need to explain why he would do that. Then the most powerful raw strength-wise, who has massive melee damage and a shield. Then the second strongest, removing the team's durability damn near completely. Then he attacks the fire user, which positions himself perfectly to take out the bow user, who is obviously long range. One or two people try to come back to attack him again, but overall, he defeated these people in the perfect order without even knowing them. This overall gives him a huge bump in battle IQ, but I can't realistically put his strategic intelligence over anything but high, as a lot of his attacks are heavily speed-based. And you don't really need to be a universal genius to figure out, if I run fast enough, I can beat this guy. Alright, speed, strength, intelligence, all that relies on you being able to take a few hits as well, since with the people Beru were fighting, that was an inevitability. It was bound to happen at some point. So let's move on to scaling his durability. So I have Beru's endurance at extremely high, his damage resistance at large town level, and his regeneration at fast. This guy had the stamina to buttfuck 6 high S ranks, aura farm, and then fly fast as hell out of the volcano to kill more S ranks, and then shortly after that put up a fight with Sung Jin Woo without breaking a sweat in the slightest. So I don't think there's a counter argument to putting his stamina that high. His damage resistance is damn sure large town level minimum, because although he was beating the fuck out of those S ranks, there were still times in which he got hit. The shield attack, for example, the one that held the queen ant back without denting it in the slightest, shattered upon hitting Beru, bro. And at the same time, not even causing a scratch on his exoskeleton. Like, tell me the last time you saw somebody come out of a fight cleaner than when they came into it, bro. And I know y'all seen the new episode where Sung Jin Woo was laying into this motherfucker with attacks strong enough to decimate basically any other S rank, but this was only causing mere scratches on Beru's exoskeleton. That is until he used Mutilate, obviously. So Beru is fast, strong, smart, and relatively unkillable, but now let's talk about what made this motherfucker actually stand out. His abilities. I mean, how are you gonna fight somebody that stun locks you by screaming? So Beru's main abilities are his flight, his sound manipulation, his paralyzing roar, his poison, and his ice powers. Now, usually in your typical fight in anime, there's about a 10-second aura farm, and then they both start throwing hands at around the same time. But this motherfucker Beru starts a fight by roaring so loud you forget how to move. I will say though that his roar and his presence in general are more mental effects rather than physical, but it still has the same effect on most hunters in solo leveling. And y'all saw when he slightly scratched Sung Jin Woo with his tongue and put him on his knees until he activated his poison resistance ability. And I mean, he's a bug with wings, so he can fly. But don't let this underestimate his speed while he's flying though, because that motherfucker can move. And I mean, at this time, those are really his only abilities before he got turned into a shadow, so this is a relatively short segment here. And that's it for pre-Shadow Beru. I mean, he had no magic power or anything of that sort, so there's no point to make an entire section for that. So now I'm gonna let my friend Angelo take it over for power scaling post-Rose Meruem.
Wait! It's too early!
Shut up!
Meruem has some crazy stats, and he's the strongest creature in all of Hunter x Hunter. He has been at this shit since birth. This guy literally tore out of his mother's womb and murked all the motherfuckers trying to help his dying mother. And he didn't give them the think, Mark, think, and beat the shit out of them like a normal person. No. He decapitated all of them. But just how good are his stats? We're gonna start off with speed because it's occurred to me that some of you motherfuckers think Beru can speed blitz Meruem. Spoiler alert, it's not gonna fucking go down like that. We're looking at a character who scales to Netero's 100 type Guanyin Bodhisattva, which was landing thousands of strikes per minute during the fight. Meanwhile, Meruem was sitting here thinking about how
You're either perfect or you're not me.
before he decided to get up and piece up Netero. To put this into perspective, Netero is literally throwing 16 hands per second in this fight, and Meruem was able to break through that and just destroy this motherfucker. Then after the fight, he gets 3 times faster. So how fast is this motherfucker really? Well, calculations show that Netero's hands moved at about Mach 250, and even though his hands were significantly faster than Meruem was bouncing back and forth between each hit trying to gain new angles to hit him with. So for this calculation, we're gonna put Meruem's speed about 60% as fast as Netero's hands, meaning his pre-Rose combat speed is about Mach 150 and his post-Rose combat speed is about Mach 450. His reaction time is firmly between relativistic and light speed due to his photon nin he gained after the bomb, making this motherfucker impossible to speed blitz unless you're FTL plus. But if this guy's not fast enough for you, just wait for Scaling Meruem's strength is pretty easy because the only thing we really need to analyze is this one blast right here. And I mean, y'all, we cannot be watching the same clip right now. He fucking obliterated that mountain. I mean, he wasn't even aiming for it. That shit just got caught in the crossfire, making this guy easily mountain level plus for his strongest attacks. And if you're wondering exactly how strong that is, somebody calculated it to be over a megaton of TNT. Just let that sink in. If you look at this chart right here, we see that Meruem's the type of guy who's more of a shoot shit character, and that was confirmed by the author, than a break shit character. So we know he can only break shit as 80% as strong as he can shoot shit, meaning that his punching power for his strikes is going to be around 800 kilotons of TNT. So his punches aren't quite mountain level, they're more like city level, but his strongest strikes are definitely mountain level plus. And if you're wondering how we know for sure he's using 100% and 80%, he was confirmed by Togashi, my goat. He's one of the 7 ultimate nin users, meaning he has extraordinary mastery, and his mastery is on par with someone like Netero. But the other reason we know that is because this guy is smart as shit, and we're about to get that into. So we already covered this guy's speed and raw power, but what really separates him from every other fighter in this universe isn't just brute strength, it's his mind. This dude was a genius. His intellect was god god tier. Y'all don't understand just how smart this guy is. He clowned on the world's top strategy game masters within hours or days of learning how to play their game. This guy took Magnus Carlsen and turned him into his little fucking bitch. The only one who could beat him was Komobi and Gungi, who was later revealed to be using a Nin binding vow with her life on the line, drastically improving her playing, which by the way is like taking steroids to beat up a baby. So to put this all into perspective, his IQ level is super genius minimum, and his battle IQ is just as crazy. In his fight with Netero, he was outclassed in speed, but he was able to win by looking at less than 1% of Netero's possible moves and predicting what he could do next. This is a crazy in-battle feat because he did this in literally less than a minute, using only thousands of moves to predict the next millions of possible combinations just by reading his opponent to learn his style. I mean, that's like playing one round of Overwatch and then predicting the next video the Gooners are gonna pump out. His overall stats make him at least super genius, 200 IQ plus. If you could go higher, he would be higher, and his battle IQ is damn near maxed out. But this motherfucker ain't just smart. He ain't just fast. He ain't just strong. He's durable as hell. Y'all remember the Rose Bomb? Yeah, he ate that shit to the face, point blank range. And I'm not gonna lie, that motherfucker got cooked. But he survived, meaning his pre-Rose durability is about nuke level, as the Rose Bomb had the force of a nuclear bomb, putting his upper limit at city level plus. Additionally, Netero's thousands of hits are couched to be city block level, and after taking thousands of those, this guy had a dual ache. So we know this motherfucker's tough as hell. But post-Rose, he also got a major power boost, and this applies to his durability as well. We know his striking power is about 800 kilotons of TNT. And in order to be able to dish out that attack, you need to be able to take it too. That's how Newton's third law of physics works. For each force, there's an equal and opposite reaction, meaning that post-Rose, his durability is 800 kilotons of TNT. And also, don't you fucking forget, this guy ripped his own damn arm off in the middle of a Gungi game and wanted to keep playing. He didn't feel that shit. He just did it to prove a fucking point. So ain't shit stopping him in a fight. Beru can rip this motherfucker's arm off. He's gonna sit there unfazed. He's not gonna flinch unless something fucking kills him.
Editor's note, you wouldn't be able to flinch if something killed you because you'd be fucking dead.
I mean, this guy is clearly made to be the final fucking boss of Hunter x Hunter, and he's got the hacks to back that shit up too. On top of his extreme durability, he's also got major poison resistance. He tanked poison from the Rose Bomb and still functioned at full capacity after it had even run his course and killed his royal guard. And this was not no little bitch poison either. It had these guards looking like Oliver after Conquest hit him, kneeling over and dying and shit, and Meruem didn't even feel it. And if that's not enough to say you have extreme poison resistance, I don't know what the fuck is. But this guy also has a myriad of other abilities, so I'm gonna just sum up like 6 right now and call him in combat. He's got Tin, Rin, Zetsu, Go, Ko,
Beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes,
and he can read fucking aura. This all basically sums up to be Hunter x Hunter's power system, so we're gonna kind of leave it out because it's already incorporated in some of the calcs. But just know this motherfucker can masterfully use this shit during combat to pull out crazy shit you couldn't even think of. Not only that, but this guy's also got aura synthesis. When he eats someone, he gains their aura and all of their abilities. This would not be applicable during the 1v1, but after best believe this motherfucker is gonna eat Beru, heal himself, and then get a whole list of new abilities. I mean, he's broken. We also already saw during the strength section that he's got a crazy ass rage blast that's capable of destroying mountains. Then to top it off, this guy's got an ability called Metamorphosis, which lets him grow things on his fucking body. So imagine this. You're fighting Meruem and you rip off his arm. He uses Metamorphosis to grow that shit back, and he's unfazed. What the fuck are we gonna do to beat this guy? Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
You fucking glaze. Holy shit. What the fuck? Alright, so we just power scaled both characters. Now we can move on to covering that video that I talked about at the beginning. And before I get into it, this isn't an attack on the creator, just what the motherfucker said. And I mean, if you upload your video to YouTube with takes as preposterous as the one you're about to witness, you volunteer for peer review. Let's get into it.
And let's go to another one of those controversial videos.
This is one of the very few things that he says in the video that's correct, so good start.
Let's compare the rank S hunters with the characters from the Phantom Troop, who would be the rank S characters of this universe.
This is fundamentally wrong, as the Phantom Troop will most likely be an A rank threat with a few outliers. The people you are seeing on screen right now are the real S ranks of the Hunter x Hunter verse.
I'm comparing these two groups just because they are equivalent, since they are humans who are considered elite by the other humans of that world.
This is about the dumbest thing I've heard all week, and that's not a hard feat since I've been cooped up in this damn room editing this fucking video. I really don't even need to say why this is dumb because I believe in the viewer's intelligence enough.
You can see this by the scale of destruction. A rank S solo leveling can easily decimate a city or even an entire country.
What the fuck are you talking
I'm
about?
about 99% sure that this motherfucker watched the show at 2x speed with his eyes closed. I mean, what even gave you the idea that they've got that kind of power at this point in the story? Not even any national level is country level right now.
Average S rank and Country Destroyer in the same sentence is fucking ludicrous.
And they are so resilient that no military force can work against them. The same goes for the monsters they face.
I'm guessing you don't recall when one member of the Phantom Troop cleared at least like 150 soldiers on feet by himself.
On feet by himself.
First off, there's not even much the military can do against top tier nin users. And secondly, the only reason the military can't handle hunters or magic beasts is because they've literally got magic powers, which makes them immune to conventional weaponry. Like, just think about this for a second. If I grab a shotgun and blast an E rank beast, it's not gonna die. But pre-awakened Jin Woo with his E rank ass could kill them with a rusty fucking knife. Now let's think about this, because I know you don't do much thinking. But does that make Jin Woo over shotgun level? Or is this a plot device?
And as for the hunters, the only ones who really rival national military power are the national level hunters. There were none on Jeju Island, and if there were, Jinwoo wouldn't have even had to show up.
Meruem himself, who was the most powerful threat that humanity faced at that time, was mortally wounded by a bomb, and it wasn't even that powerful.
We cannot be serious right now. It was a nuclear bomb!
So the big truth is that Meruem was not that big of a threat.
Meruem was not that big of a threat. Meruem was not that big of a threat.
Meruem was not that big of a threat.
He was just a little stronger than the strongest human.
Oh my god! What the fuck are you talking about?
He was just a little stronger than the strongest human.
But if some members of the Phantom Troop got together to fight, I believe it is quite reasonable to say that they would win.
No. Motherfucker, no!
No. No. No.
The troop could literally gang up on Meruem twice, fuck it, tenfold, and he'd still walk away with maybe a scratch at most.
And for all you fucking Fei Tan fanboys, even if he used post-mortem Nin to make a stupid little fucking explosion, Meruem would either survive that shit or be able to speed his way out of the area. And it would kill the rest of the troop anyway, so it would be fucking pointless. Their only chance is if Controller Boy hits him with Nin needles in his fucking iPhone, but he's not fast enough to land it, and he's not strong enough to pierce Meruem's skin.
The only thing we ever saw cut Meruem, besides from a literal nuclear bomb, was Netero's Zero Hand.
Beru, on the other hand, is at a level of power far above the vast majority of rank S that exist in the world.
Okay, we can give him that.
In a serious fight between Meruem and Beru, Meruem would be defeated in a few seconds.
And we take it back.
If Meruem were in the solo leveling universe, he would probably be at the level of an A rank or even below that.
Motherfucker! Oh my god! He's S rank bare fucking minimum. You could argue he'd be national level. And considering his battle IQ, tactics, and stats, that's an easily doable feat.
Do you agree with me?
Fuck no!
Do you think Meruem would have a chance? Leave a comment, and if you like the video, subscribe to follow the next content.
I'm sure y'all see why we needed to make this video now. Because that shit that we just reacted to was full of heinous misinformation. And to finally clear that misinformation up completely, I will now present to you the final list of which character wins each category. Speed, Meruem. Strength, Meruem. Intelligence, Meruem. Durability, Meruem. Abilities, fucking Meruem.
Do you agree with me?
Fuck no!